Alright, for the finale of part 3, I want to do some housekeeping as well for this part as well. I want to say first off, the delay, yet again another funny moment of the community. Like everyone was getting hyped up to watch, to get ready for this finale, just getting ready for what's gonna happen, the Mili song, the ending, all the cool fights we're gonna have. But then Steam decided to kick up the bucket and we were just stuck. No one had the update. Mobile users had the update and they were flexing on getting into part 3 first. So that's a win for mobile users. That's like outside the game. Inside the game, I want to do some final like bits of what I liked. We seen this a bit back in part 2 near the end with Vespa, and also I think Xiaomi had it as well. The existence of flavor text. You know, usually when you read the character's passives and skills, I would say you're supposed to get information out of that, right? But the new thing about this Canto is we're getting lore drops in these passives. We're getting lore drops in these skills. These type of stuff that supposed to be for people who, you know, actually read, are a new treasure trove of actual, you know, new lore, new knowledge, more insight about the character. And that's something I very hope they bring on to the future Cantos, future games, whatever. Like putting lore details in the most unexpected places, and so you don't have to shove it into the main story. It's just great because it inspired those who actually read. It provides more insight. It's just great. It's just great. I loved all the flavor text, and I will be mentioning them as we reach these final fights of the Canto. But also, another great thing is the life of Ryoshu as well. I kept mentioning that her flashbacks were pretty cool. Because it's such a memory lane type of thing. We've seen Ryoshu as a kid, Ryoshu growing up as a teenager, as like a older teen to adult, and seeing how she grew with these nurse fathers. Like, that's good character. And we got so much CG, so much backstory, seeing Ryoshu's growth and seeing her grow up through the years. And I do think Baby Ryoshu is cute. So that's a 15 A pluses. So yeah, for this finale, I will be doing everything in order, basically, like saying like who you fight first into a completion. I'm not gonna be jumping around like this Canto did, because part 3 was a whole bunch of jumping around that you start forgetting some stuff. That's one negative. I'm gonna go in order on who's fighting who, how do I think to fight characters, whatever, and I'm not skipping. Alright, let's start with our first fight. Everyone, Limbus company as a whole, jumping into the corridors to fight their respective nurse fathers, and to get back to Golden Bows, and for Yoshu to get back Arya. It's crazy. This is our Avengers Endgame, and it starts now with the ring. We got Foss, Ishmael, and Sinclair alongside LCE, which is Homenheim, who locked in Mike Goat. Like, he was told to sit back, to resign, he was told to sit back and to just take the day off. But him and Alyssa was like, no, we're doing this for Martin. And locked in they did. And they followed our trio of sinners to fight the ring. And in the ring we fight, of course, the ring nurse father and the ring apprentice, Albina and Castillo. The fight, nothing too hard. Because another thing I want to talk about these fights is like, we're going to have support in all these fights. And those provide good world building, provide good like tension and stakes. So I enjoyed them. I liked how Hohenheim became like our tank, even though he was a gunner. And Alyssa, she didn't really win clashes, but she did her best. Whoop her ass, Alyssa, woohoo! But yeah, that fight, the ring fight, it was basically even, but we were on the back foot because it is a nurse father. And as we kept taking on more and more damage, and you know, the nurse father basically overwhelmed us because they were a maestro, we started getting to drastic decisions. And I mean drastic, I mean Alyssa decided to do what her ego gift was always meant to be. Fly high, my beautiful red butterfly. And she starts to blow up. Tragic, yes, I know it's tragic. But she still lived that. But she is like captured now because she tried to do a suicide move. Like, come on, she can't keep doing that. But yeah, Alyssa was now trapped. Our sinners were pretty weakened. And Hohenheim decided to play a little bit of tricks to try to just get the nurse father a bit lower. And well, he tried to do that. He got a good hit on him, which is nice, but it really doesn't mean anything because we're all beaten, we're all weakened. The Foss, Sinclair, Ishmael they couldn't really do that much. But I guess Sinclair was a bit really mad because he's still a prosthetics hater, and he's fighting 2 full body prosthetic users. And well, that just requires some types of locking in. And so, with our partners down, Alyssa's still injured from her suicide move, and Hohenheim still being injured. He got picked up, but he got picked up and whacked, and that hammer did no damage. But you know, it causes Sinclair to try to get like an anime moment, and well, he does get his anime moment. He kept yapping about this sign. We kept hearing about this power of this sign and what could it do, and then it finally comes in. The sign basically transformed him into our first ass pull of part 3. We love it here. Now, I didn't really like this. I'll be honest. Sinclair is not my favorite center. Sinclair is not like top on any of my lists. So seeing Sinclair get another character moment, I couldn't care less. I mean, it was cool though, seeing him appear out of nowhere, seeing him yap about, man, the smoke was blue or some crap, or like reading his passive, his skills, seeing he has Mong, seeing he's from the second Smoke War. Now that's just a spoiler right there. Yeah, it was Smoke War, so cool. Why don't we have 2 Smoke Wars? We got 2 Smoke Wars. Good job, guys. Good job, Limbus Company. Grounded your backs. I guess it is type of spoiler saying that the second Smoke War was between humans and prosthetic users. Is that really a good cause for a whole ass war? I don't think so. Like, I know the first war was for like a whole wing. This war is just, this guy has a robot arm, we should kill him. But yeah, a certain Sinclair, he's cool, his design is cool, the concept is cool. I just didn't like how it was in this Canto, and I didn't care about Sinclair's character moment because I don't like Sinclair. If you like Sinclair and think it's really cool, good for you. I didn't. But yeah, a certain Sinclair carries the fight, and before he leaves, he kills both Albina and the nurse father, and that ends their involvement. I will talk about them right now. The Ring nurse father and the Ring apprentice, they were absolutely the weakest of all the of all the House of Spiders. They were the weakest. I didn't really care much about them. They didn't really provide much. Even all the backstory regarding Castillo, he didn't really influence Ryoshu that much. All he did was make her jaded to blood and gore and stuff. But like, he was always the odd one out, and him and Albina, they weren't that striking. They had cool designs, sure, but like, they weren't that integral. You could remove the Ring entirely and they're just nothing. I think the main problem is that the Ring trapped themselves into this aesthetic of art freaks, and they couldn't really evolve from that. So every time they appear, they're just art freaks, but again. So if I put them on a tier list, they're both gonna be pretty low. I'm sorry, Albina and Fascia. That's a cool concept of having a person with a brain, like one person with only a brain and all their internal organs into the sword. So it's a question of who's who, really. Like, is Albina the body, or is it the sword now, or something like that? I don't know. But still, both of them were pretty weak. Both of them, I didn't really care that much for their death. And I think the issue was that their deaths were made because of a Sinclair or a farming experience, and not like a tragic or a disastrous scene, like something that's coming up. Spoilers. But yeah, they both get put down to lower. But hey, LCD lives through it. We save Sinclair saves both Alyssa and Hohenheim, and that ends the Ring fight. But yeah, I mean, the fight was good, but the ending with all the aura farming, I didn't like it that much. Okay, next up we have the middle fight, which is with Don Quixote, Yi Sang, and Hanlu as they fight off again with LCD, of course. So we got our color fixer Vespa, we got Ezra, our happy-go-lucky jack of all trades, and we got Moses as well. Yet again, all cool passive, all cool moves and stuff. And we got Engdu as a announcer. That's cool as well. And fighting off against Kira, we get to see how much of a bum the middle members are. We go into this place full of warehouses full of unwrapped toys, like wrapped up toys and gifts and snacks and food. It's a whole junk of a place, and Moses just reinforces that, yeah, Kira wasn't loved. Matthias gave her stuff, and well, that really was shown a lot also in the past as well. Matthias did give Ryoshu a lot of stuff, but he wasn't really a father, and he did the same thing with Kira. You know, it's sad, but well, also I think it was rather funny to hear the just lore talk about fixer stuff, because even though fixers are a bunch around the city, you don't really get to know a lot of fixers, because a lot of fixers are just like either background or just dead. Like hearing lore drops about a famous fixer from like I forgot the Davot, maybe it's a Davot, the one that transports stuff, and hearing another famous fixer from the Charles office, like that's just crumbs that we love to have. But yeah, the Matthias Kira fight, yet again, it was an easy fight. It was an easy fight because I think having like a color fixer and 2 also powerful units by your side to help you out makes these fight easy, because the fight's not supposed to be hard. The fights are supposed to be hard, but it's supposed to be you supporting your juggernaut. Like Vespa was like clashing with Matthias, but all we had to do was keep Kira from getting extra damage in, and then that's our fight. Ezra won 0 clashes for me. Like she never won any clashes during my fight, but Moses did. I don't know what people were complaining about. Moses was doing great. But yeah, I think then the fight went on and went on. It did stall out a bit because after we defeated Kira, Matthias decided to screw you. I take 0 damage. You had to wait till Moses charged up a whole attack, and then the attack missed the first time. She sends it the second time and it insta-kills. And that ends the middle. The middle is another weak part. I guess the only extra thing I could say is Kira decided to sneak out of the scene, gets a jump on Vespa, and she holds him down enough to say that, "Oh, Papa, get hidden!" And then Matthias, in all his infinite wisdom, slices her in half as a cheap shot. That made him lose not just aura for himself, but aura for the entire middle, and turned them all out to be the biggest bumps on the earth. Because, to be honest, I'm tired of middle glaze. I get it, Ricardo was cool, and him coming back again and again and again is cool, and they had cool music, but the middle are so glazed that people think that they're like a good group to join. They're a finger. None of the fingers are good to join, just because they're not as overt as like the thumb or the pinky or the pinky or the index doesn't mean they actually are a cool alternative. The middle are a group of bullies. All they care about is themselves and their sort of family, which isn't really their family. And Matthias shows that when you get high enough in power, it doesn't matter. And that's why his sword that he was using, a relic, he got that by killing two of his members, two of his siblings, because he's a greedy bitch. That's it. He was a greedy person, and he doesn't really care about anything else. He treats it with the same type of love like you treat like a puppy you got for Christmas, as in barely giving a crap about it. And he sacrificed Kira like that. The middle are cool though. I like their designs, but their end, satisfying. Absolutely deserved. They deserve nothing more. And also good job LCD for clearing that out. And also I like how like Kira represented the tourist aspect of a lot of communities of, you love fixer media, yet you still participate in like syndicate activities. Like, what are you on? Oh, I think it's badass. Yeah, but you're a fake fan. Don Quixote knew she was a fake fan. But yeah, that ends the middle. They also get swept up because Color Fixer helps us out. And at least Matthias had a cool relic, and more relic lore is always nice. And him not having Shin was still actually funny. Like, he just gritted it out and just stole the fight. That's great. Okay, moving on to, well, the thumb, where we had Heathcliff, Rhodia, and Gregor. And we got alongside Virgilius. Like, come on, that should be easy fight. And we're facing off against Lucio and Valencia. I do like how when they first step in, Valencia was drunk out. Like, she kept talk about like the war and not trauma. She talked about how she used to be such a big shot back at the thumb, and she really wanted Ryoshu. And it does bring back to her flashback of, she was like one of the most abusive of all the nurse fathers. She used to hit Ryoshu a lot as a baby. She didn't care about anything. And I think she beat in the sense of, the city is cruel to Ryoshu. That during that one cutscene where Ryoshu was like, I will be your winning ticket, after Ryoshu was beating in a drunken rage by Valencia for like no apparent reason. Why is she such a baby beater? But that's a bit sad. Like, you're treating a person as a ticket just for you to get back to your own, like your old like place that you yourself got kicked out because you're an idiot. But anyways, the fight between Lucio and Valencia is pretty cool. Like, we do get to see how Virgilius did out her out as being a slob, a nothing special type of person, covering herself with alcohol to ignore the memories of it. And then Rhodia just had the single ... ever. Like, she's absolutely getting a Valencia ID. Like, that's not even funny. Like, that's just like a perfect identity. But yeah, the fight is good. The fight is nice how like Valencia and Virgilius were fighting beforehand, but then coming back out, it's just us fighting Lucio. And that fight goes well enough that then both sides come back into the main fray and they join us for the fight. And yeah, Virgilius, it's nice how we have to help out Virgilius by him clashing the right person, clashing the right person. And so, you know, also, you know, great flavor text from Lucio saying that we do wonder why he's so accepting of this abuse, accepting by such a terrible nurse father. And that flavor text of him saying that if he survives this day, he will keep getting stronger and stronger until he's strong enough to fight off against Valencia and free himself. That's why a lot of people like Lucio, because he had that hidden desire to free himself, a hidden desire to become his own person after this. And he knew one of these days he's gonna kill Valencia and he's gonna revel in it. Too bad that in his desperate moments after being taken out, he decides to go for Gregor, and Valencia keeps talking down on Gregor being a bug, a worthless person of a fallen wing. And Gregor didn't like that because Gregor awakens actually. And that's another aura moment as Gregor, shoot Gregor, you didn't mean to do that. Damn, rip Lucio, I guess. Yeah, rip Lucio. He didn't deserve that, like, rip Lucio, like, he was my baby boy and he died like that. And Valencia, who's so probably stuck in, like, a hangover, like, she has, like, a hangover, doesn't realize that, bro, your Lucio is dead. And then she keeps triggering Gregor for no apparent reason whatsoever, that he freaks out and awakens his gift that he got from his mother. And so Gregor basically transforms and he instantly demolishes Valencia, ending him once and for all. Like, damn. And then we have to fight Gregor after that. The Kaiser, this Lord of Flies, this cockroach king, because, like, you know, Rhodia still believes there's a way to get him out, and Heathcliff's the type of guy to, like, he understands because he got beaten out of his distortion. They could beat Gregor out of his thing, and Virgilius follows. And that fight against corrupted Gregor, that was like one of the hardest fight ever. Like, if you do not read that fight, you're losing 10 times out of 10, because that fight tells you don't let unbreakable coins hit the green coins. Yeah, those green coins were messed up. Just tell Virgilius not to fight those green coins, then you win. Because Gregor, it's a pretty sad life. Like, if you check his sanity, it's like sanity, like, page, he's just saying kill me. He's sad. He doesn't like this gift he's got from his mother, and he's disgusted by himself. And that's, yet again, it gives more points to Herman being a bad mother, just like how Valencia was like a bad nurse father. Like, this chapter is all about bad parenthood and how you don't really just have to choose the blood ties you're with. And so with good teamwork by Heathcliff and Rhodia, they fight off Gregor and they knock him out. But that was such a hard fight, and it's such a tragic fight after our hype up fight against the Thumb. You know, it's just sad to see Gregor have to reveal such a tragic, disgusting form, and he didn't want it. He kept talking about how he wanted to keep that stuff to himself, and sadly he had to bring it out. But it did end the Thumb Nurse Father and the Thumb Apprentice. They were both better characters than both the Thumb and the Ring, because they were at least striking in some ways. I do think Valencia's type of anger and brash decision making did influence a lot on Ryoshu, and her having a strong personality and Lucio being the brunt of that created a good dynamic that a lot of people really like. Like, Valencia is such a good antagonistic figure that, like, we need more characters like that. None of that soapy, misunderstood type. More of those characters that are just plain bad because of their own actions. Rip both of them. Valencia, I can see you in hell, and Lucio, purgatory. I don't know where you're gonna go. I don't know. But yeah, taking a break from all the fights, we have to see LCA, which did join us on this fight, rushing off against Ryan, the nurse father of the Index. They get wiped because, you know, they got sabotaged. I didn't really care that much because, well, I mean, Oda's story told us they were sabotaged, and that was back in the first week. So seeing that play out in the third week didn't really share us a lot. And it's a more case of characters jobbing for no apparent reason. But I will say that what happened to Gregor is a lot cooler and more tragic and, like, just a better showing than what happened with Sinclair. Because I think Gregor was better built up to be this actual thing, because we heard about his untapped potential. We were told about he was a potential man, and Sinclair was just, you can be better, Sinclair. And it's like, oh, I can be better. And he gets, like, becomes like a potential color fixer now. Like, that's just stupid. I like what happened to Gregor than what happened to Sinclair. Now moving on to our Pinky fight, and this is where all the reveals get down. It is us, Dante, Otis, Ryoshu, Mersault. And that's our fight against Pinky Nurse Father. We do one last interaction with them saying that and she asks, who do we want? Both either the daughter or the golden bells, and Ryoshu cannot answer. And all the reveals start setting in. Arya was Ryoshu's biological daughter. Well, that's what I thought. But then we got revealed in this part 3 chapter. The reveal was that the daughter is not Ryoshu's actual biological daughter. Now, this is the biggest cop-out. Arya was made in a lab test tube thing based off her and probably Shiomi as well as some test tube baby thing. And since Ryoshu is technically the actual mother, she is called the mother, but she's not actually mother because she wasn't a physical mother. I don't know. I just found it BS. I actually just found it BS. They should have just made her like a proper mother. I think a lot of moments in the future will be better if she was a proper mother. Like, she went through the whole childbirth process as a way of rebellion against the nurse fathers who all wanted to shape her in some way, and she went out and had a child as like a fuck you or something. But now it's just that she didn't know she has a child, and now she's a child. That's my personal opinion. I do think her being a Ryoshu's proper child would have been so much better, but it didn't really matter. As we fight off against Shiomi Yoru one last time, and those fights were cool. I do like the whole like reflection thing about clash with the right skills, but it doesn't matter. Ryoshu wants her daughter back. If it's biological or not, that's her daughter. All the flashbacks we see now of her trying to be a proper mother, those were great because that's a totally different side of Ryoshu we'd never seen of. And seeing her basically lock in to try to get her daughter back against her supposed mother, Shiomi Yoru, that's just crazy. And so we fight. And it was a hard fight with only 3 sinners, but Otis and Mersault, they both locked in and helped Ryoshu get these kills in, get these fights in, and then the place started burning up. Wait, why does the place start burning up? And why is Shiomi Yoru start changing? I don't know, but the fights keep getting crazier as the entanglement gets more and more and more until Ryoshu yet again gets that good clean hit in after her first clean hit, and then the reveals hit. So there actually was a reveal back then about Ryoshu cutting off her mother's tongue, so she couldn't speak anymore. But why is she speaking now? And then memory cleared up that it also said that she also stabbed her in the heart. So the Pinky Nurse Father should be dead. To who were we fighting this glitchy person? Well, the reveal sets in as well. Shiomi Yoru was actually dead this entire time. But where was the daughter? The daughter who was trapped in that safe, that T-Corp safe, stuck in darkness time and time again, waiting for her mother to come back. Why was she left in such a place for so long that she decided to break out of that safe herself and wanted to see her mother again? Right in front of Ryan, who says that there's a position open for her to see her mother again. And yes, the reveal is simple. Shiomi Yoru is long dead, but in her place was Arya, Ryoshu's daughter. And just like that, unknowingly, Ryoshu cut down her own daughter. In the burning carriage, she's seen her daughter slayed by her own hand, by the sword she wasn't supposed to set towards her. I think that reveal was somewhat predicted. Like, even her music was a bit off. Everything about the nurse father was off. Made you wonder, what was she really? And the reveal that it was actually the daughter the entire time? Kino. And that's so Kino that Ryoshu just couldn't handle it. That was Ryoshu's blood, Ryoshu's child, and she unknowingly cut her down. The main reason she joined Limbus company was to get enough strength, get allies, get whatever to get her daughter back. And then her daughter lays dead, by her own fault. And so, in a crazy move, Ryoshu gives up on the contract with Limbus company and cuts off her chain that connects all the sinners to Dante, and then becomes nothingness. Ryoshu is in a pure blood-fueled rage. She doesn't know what she's swinging at. She doesn't know what she's doing. All she knows is that she lost to her only tether. The red strings of fate that connects you with somebody that we've seen a lot of time everywhere. That one string towards her own daughter has now been severed, and now she has nothing left. Nothing kept keeping her tethered to the world. Now she became nothingness. Ryan sees this as a perfection, and he sends Sora, the Index Apprentice, to fight one last time. Also, Ren, who's still alive, like, his job was done. The Pinky Nurse Father is dead, but Ryoshu gained her absolute form. But Ren said that it didn't matter. I'm staying in this burning building, and I'm getting this one last fight as well. I saw a post online saying that Ren could be the monkey as well. Like the monkey in the story that jumped in with the burning carriage to try to save the daughter. And everyone has a real house scream, but that's a famous scene. So I had to talk about that as well. But yeah, Ren stepping in as well in this final fight is him and Sora against Muga Ryoshu. And this entire battle, it was basically a cutscene. There's nothing, you can't really die, but it was just a set piece, a crazy set piece. Ryoshu, built on nothingness with nothing left, became the absolute blade that it was able to wield her sword against Ren and Sora, who was just holding the line. We were like, Mersol and Otis, they just had to sit and watch as Ryoshu cut everything. She kept cutting, she kept cutting. Like, text messages were like being deleted, like nothing was making sense. The slash kept on staying because Ryoshu had nothing left. Ryoshu just kept on cutting. And then I want to see, like, and then her final move, erasing me, erasing you, it erases people. First it was Ren. Ren is gone. Ren just got erased. He got Cathy'd. And like that, Sora goes as well. Ren and Sora both get Cathy'd or something, erased from the story, enough so that nobody even remembers them. And Ryan congratulates us by saying, "To all those who lived, all those who died, they have done it. They have turned Ryoshu into basically a walking concept incinerator, the perfect assassin of the city, for who she kills nobody remembers. The greatest threat the city has ever seen." Like, I think this has been like generally the peak moment of this Canto. Like, Ryoshu was tethered by Araya. That was her daughter, and she was changing for her. She was wanting to get her to school. She wanted to make sure she doesn't end up like her. And the whole story of her, Araya, and Shiomi as well, it's a sad cycle. Because in the baby scene, we see that Ryoshu was the Pinky Nurse Father's blight. She didn't like her. She was abusive as well. She didn't like Ryoshu for being born in general, as it took from her youthness. Like, I do think it might be another test tube thing, but hopefully Shiomi Yoru was the actual biological mother of Ryoshu, so that it's a sense of like, I hate you because of motherhood, parental worries and all that stuff. But in the end, that mother still thought of Ryoshu as her daughter, and she had one wish: for her to not be the same as her, for Ryoshu to grow up differently, to prove her wrong. And well, I don't know, I think another issue that came up is like, Ryoshu did sort of go down the same path. She even started smoking as well, so we got that one scene of them smoking together. It's tragic, but that cycle was supposed to stop, and it didn't. A daughter basically kills the mother, and then the cycle continues as Ryoshu becomes absolute nothingness. Sad, isn't it? So, untethered Ryoshu has nothing left. How do we stop her? Arya appears again. I don't know how she does, but I guess because of the memory time thing, Ryoshu has a weird thing about time for some reason, and that went to her daughter as well. Maybe it was Shiomi's time thing. But yeah, it's a sad scene of like Arya finally realizing that her mother did care about her. Her mother did do all this just for her, and she never really abandoned her. And that red thread never actually was severed. You can cut thread. You can cut anything down as possible. But in the end, it just gets looser and looser, but there still is a thread. And so we give her a chain of Ira, a chain of Gebra that wish to protect, and we give it to Ira one last time to try to connect with her mother one last time. And the scenes following it, the scenes in general, the cutscenes in general, were just so great. Arya going through the stages, progressively getting older and older, showing that she always understood that her mother cared for her as she for her. Because Arya's wish was to be Ryoshu's mom for some reason. I don't know, I don't get that, but like, I think it's for like, I want to be able to treat her with the same type of love that she never had. And that final cutscene, man, like that's, I'm just thinking about it again, like it's sad. And in that blob of sword slashes, of nothingness, of burning desire, something tells her to sheathe that sword, and the Mili song plays a bit. It's insane. The song list in this final Canto was all so great as well. Like, everyone was, all the fights against all the other fingers, the music was great. The Pinky Nurse Father fight, the song after we get to reveal was great. Ryoshu's turmoil and the song playing there was amazing. And then the Mili song comes in as we start sheathing the sword. The cutscene, oh my goodness. It took pure love to sheathe that sword and understand Ryoshu to stop swigging so widely to keep her memories afloat, because her daughter is with her the entire time. It's beautiful. And that was only like 9:49. Arya sacrifices herself basically to keep Ryoshu tethered one last time, for her to remember that she does have that thread to keep her to the earth. And that's beautiful. Well, I do have one last fight though. We do forget that Ryan the nurse father of the Index who just watched Sora died like that, he's still there against us. And so Dante uses his Malkuth ability again, Ryoshu locks in one last time, and there we have our final fight with a pure Mili song against Ryan the nurse father. And well, first off, the Mili song is great. It's absolutely amazing. Like, it's in the same vein as Fly My Wings, but it's better than Fly My Wings, it's better than Hero, it's better than Compass, I think. My only weirdness about it is that it's not Japanesey. Like, the thing about like Ryoshu's, like Hanlu's Mili song was so Chinesey, was so Chinese that you can just know it's for Hanlu. This song is like straight English, so there's nothing really like super Japanese about it, but that's fine because the story isn't really like in a Japanese lens. It's more about a story about entanglement, a story about parenthood, family, blood ties, all that stuff, connections. But yeah, the Mili song is really, really great. I love it. It's a nice, somber, sadder piece. It's great. And Dante pulling up everybody except Gregor. Gregor's still out of it. I guess that whole Kaiser thing wore him out. The final fight is hard. You get to read a lot more about Ryan's personality and those saying he was a Black Silence. Guys, how do you guys keep on predicting this? Like, you guys, people predicted the whole clear out Kathy being an actual clear out Kathy, and we did clear Kathy, but now, oh, look at this Poland guy, look at this Ryan guy, it's actually Poland. And then the Index was actually telling him to be like Roland, like actually, like he painted his hair black, he had a family, he intentionally lost that family, he uses multiple swords and weapons like the Black Silence. He basically tried to be like the Black Silence because he was forced to, because he was such an empty guy. And so as the final fight plays, I want to talk about both Ren and Sora. I think in like a tier list of all their apprentices, they're both on the top. I do like Sora and her more like nervous but honest personality, and it's sad to see her go. And Ren as well, like calm, collected, the translator for Shomi, actually Araya, that people had like predictions that he knew all along that his nurse father wasn't actually like the true like star, but he still followed through on the end. He still stuck to her ideas, her whims, and he still did stay in that fire even after she was slain. Like, that took real strength. I think Project Moon did great with the whole apprentices in general. I'm sad to see them all die. Well, except for Kira. I thought to say that Hanlu said he was going to heal up Kira after she got slashed, so it was only her might be alive. But like, in general, the apprentices across the board, they were all great. They were good antagonists, good like characters to like build up and defeat. And there's fathers themselves as well. They're all great as well. They're all just very, very good. Very, very good. And the Ryan fight was hard. Yeah, going back to the Ryan fight, it was hard. Like, his attacks were great. He throws out Furiosos. You have to play around to make sure you don't get hit by the Index so he doesn't get prescripts. And make sure he gets his karma up. Because, well, I think the thing about the karma is that, like, the karma was the only way to get his attacks down and down and down. And, you know, him dropping the mask second phase to show his burnt up face that Ryoshu did cut. It's just crazy. I do think the biggest reveal out of him was that him having to trying to become the Black Silence, the trauma about him. Like, he was forced to do that, but I also do think he's a pretty sad figure by himself. Because I don't think he really liked following the prescripts, but he was such an empty guy who gave Ryoshu absolutely nothing. He, like, on the same vein as Matthias, like, Ryoshu knew he was a father, but he wasn't truly a father. He had put no heart into it. He didn't finish any storybooks. He wasn't really there for her. He calls her darling a lot, which is creepy. But he was a fake father. He was such an imitation that he was never truly a real deal. Like, I do think his story about the spider and the butterfly, how the spider was told to keep weaving his web to maybe have a chance to see it on the sky, but then be told that you made that web, you got to stay in that web forever, and he just resigned himself. That's kind of sad. I saw one post saying that in another life he could have actually been a proper father to Sora, because the sky means Sora in Japanese. I mean, Sora means sky in Japanese, so he could have been like, I want to be there for her, but due to the prescripts and the god Hermes, I stuck myself to this fate of being a distant person, a forever fake. That I lost my first daughter, I'm gonna lose Ryoshu, and then let my third daughter go die by my second daughter. Like, it's tragic. But yeah, hard fight, hard fight. And in the end, Ryoshu yet again steals the show with her final cutscene in the Mili song. I'm a bit sad that it's a bit of a rehash of like what we did beforehand with the sheathing of the sword, but now we're unleashing it. But everything plays out perfectly. Saikai is great. S does not stand for Sayonara. S stands for reunion. S stands for Saikai, which means reunion in Japanese, which is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And that marks everything, I guess. Our raid against the House of Spiders is completed. Ryan got away, but he's gravely injured. I don't think he has anything left to do. We find the golden bows in a red backpack. I guess one last favor from Arya. Arya is now forever gone. I think disappeared like Kathy. Kinda sad, but you know, Dante will remember them at least. And so I guess that ends everything. Alright, epilogue time. Only LCA are the biggest casualties. Like LCD made it out alive, good job them. Bamboo had a Kim, nowhere to be found. Martin's gone. His remains were put into a funeral place, sad. Ballista's still alive and Hohenheim still alive. And we did our job. We got back to Golden Bows. Mission complete. Ryoshu doesn't really remember what she's tethered to, but she does know there still is a rope tied to her. And so that really ends the Canto. And man, what a Canto it is. I'll play the final like pass on music right now. And like overall thoughts, it was, I think, one of the best Cantos there ever was. I'm putting this in my top 3. It's still behind like Canto 6 and like Canto like 8, but it's up there. I think it's above Canto like 5 or something. Like it has a lot of going for it. The small moments we do see of Ryoshu and her growth and her relationship with her daughter, those were great. A lot more we see in like Canto like 7, which shows us nothing until like part 3. Not even part 3, barely shows us any true interaction with Don Quixote and Sancho beyond some type of stuff. I'm just slandering Canto 7 for more reason whatsoever. I'm sorry. But yeah, that ends it. I think my main issue of this Canto is the pacing, is a bit of the whole like jumping around for points and the whole like giving highlight moments to other sinners that are way too big. Like these are not like small moments like Heathcliff opening up the wrapping that Ishmael was trapping herself into, or Misault using his ego to bind down Earl King. It's like Sinclair gets a full-on transformation. We get to see the full-on transformation of Gregor as well, and those just stole time, and those just wasted our time actually, because we had to see a lot of characters, a lot of fights, a lot of jumping around. It's just that it just took away what the story was entirely. I think Gregor did fit a bit more, but this story was just about entanglement. You don't get to choose the parents that you have. You don't get to choose like who you're born to, who your family is. But like it really just depends on how you make it out of that. It really depends on you and the thread that you're connected to. And Ryoshu chose her daughter and tried to be an actual mother to that daughter, not for selfish purposes, not for ideas beyond what a family is supposed to be. Ryoshu decided to be a mother because she decided she want to be a mother. And that single thread that connected them, that was built on trust, that was built on love, that was built on a building nature that no one else could have except for a true bond between the mother and her daughter. Because Ryoshu did want the best for her, to grow up, go through school, maybe pick up music, maybe be a great woman as Ryoshu was herself. And it's just sad to see how that could maybe not happen anymore. But Ryoshu is still with Limbus Company. She does remember that she is connected to something and she must find it. And so that does end Canto 9. I'm saying that one more time. You get more like epilogue, like Ryan going to the same place Roland died, but he stabs himself, but still revealing that, oh, the fingers now gotta be after Ryoshu because the House of Spiders are now gone. And he kills himself with a Foon. Rip Ryan, the greatest Roland LARPer since 1985. And well, I don't know. I think that's just it. We do get more stuff about N Corp League of Nine Literature's planning something, but that doesn't matter. And Faust talking to the Walpurgisnacht and being called stupid. But that doesn't matter. I think this Canto was really good. I think it's up there, and I wish the stuff that they learned from here can be moved on to other Cantos. I am super excited for Misault, whatever he brings up afterwards. And that's it. But yeah, Ryoshu, your thread is still out there, and that thread is still connected to somebody that you love so much. And so yeah, I think goodbye Ryoshu. Let us see where that thread yet again flies somewhere. I'm just yapping. But yeah, because I'm saying this one last time. S does not stand for goodbyes. It does not stand for see you later. It stands for a reunion of that single red thread.